What's up, everybody? Circus here coming at you with this week's power rankings, the last power rankings of the old meta. I guess the next one will be kind of a mixed meta or a mixed results. We'll see how that
And
turns out.
Circus, before we get into the power rankings,
Yes,
we
yes.
got something to say. Happy birthday, Element Sabers. 1 year.
Yeah, that's a
They've
long
earned it.
time.
We didn't say it anywhere else. Regardless of where they end up in the final power rankings, of their 1 year anniversary, we got to give them the shout out, before we reveal
Yeah.
it. So, happy
All right.
birthday, Element Sabers.
All right. So if you guys don't know what we're doing here, we do a singing competition every week. Kamel performs, and you get to rate them in the chat below. But seriously, what we're doing is we track tournaments throughout the week, and then we see how the decks perform, and we assign them points on how they do, and then we rank them. So if a deck gets a first place finish, it gets 6 points. A second place finish is 4 points. A top 4 is 2 points, and a top 8 is a single point. Now, all the tournaments that we track need to be rounds of Swiss into a top cut, and it has to be a one deck format with a 6 card side where they can side in a skill. And the tournaments that met that criteria this week were the Battle Phase Series, the Meta Weekly, and the Pharaoh's Cash Tournament. All right. So, the last week of tournaments before Zexal coming out. Who's got the first place score, Kamel?
I don't know. The past couple weeks have been pretty tight, pretty weird because of the, Casey Cup and all that. But I don't know. You gotta show me, who is it?
Da 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 da! Invoke Neos! Wah wah
Right,
wah.
Invoke Deals coming in clutch in the final week, making sure that they finish up strong. And yeah, honestly, these final weeks, I believe any of the decks could have had a very successful week, but we're coming off a post KC Cup week, so I don't
Yeah.
think people are going to be too experimental.
I was surprised Karakuri came in fifth.
Yeah, Karakuri in fifth. I guess even though, and we'll talk about it later, people feeling that Karakuri coming out an even better deck after the KC Cup, not doing as well the week after. Uh, so we'll get into all the numbers on that later.
All
But
right.
first up, we're going to vote Neos. So let's see what's up.
All right. First place, 22 points. It did get a Battle Phase EU victory, but a lot of top eights this week. I'm surprised a lot of people complain that this deck bricks a lot. They say they get a lot of unplayable hands, but it did well enough to take first place.
Yeah, Invoke Neos winning on representation this week. Spoiler alert if we talk about it later. But yeah, getting a lot of top 8 victories across the board this week. And that's just because of its general good matchup. In top
Yep.
32, just the spread against other meta decks, Invoke Neos just have decent matchups overall. If we look at the conversion rates, Invo Neos is sporting that only he's sporting 11% conversion rate into the top 8, so nicely done there.
That's pretty
First place.
high. Yeah.
Yeah, just over the 10% threshold that we like to call it. And we'll go on to see that it's the only deck in the top 5 that did so.
Yep.
hmm
All right, so moving on to the next one. Black Wings, second place with 15 points, got the Battle Phase Friday victory, and then a bunch of top 4, so that's really good, and then a top 8 in the Battle Phase Friday. So, Black Wings, we know what they do at this point. They win or they
hmm
lose.
Yeah, now I don't want to make it a habit to compare each one of these decks to like Xyz, but I kind of want to think about it, right? Like these decks, how are they getting by in the meta right now, right? Blackwings are taking full advantage of just the fact of how busted they can open on turn 2, right? Cosmic Cyclone into Blackbird close to the hand with your Blackwings, your special summon them. If you're playing level reduction, you're getting 3 synchro monsters on the field in one turn. Going forward, is there anything to really stop a deck like Blackwings from doing that?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We've done a lot of early testing. We did not do Black Wings, so I'm interested to see
Mm,
how they're gonna turn out. Do they have room in their deck for an Xyz monster?
right. I think Blackwings' success in the future is going to be how their OTK like sense stacks up against how the other how the incoming Xyz archetypes, deal with tearing you down, Teller Knights and Boojins specifically looking like they're going to be competing with Black ones.
All right, so let's check out the conversion rate here. And Blackwings with a conversion rate of 8% to the top 8, so that's pretty good. I
Right,
mean, not
eight
great,
percent
but
to the
good.
top eight, but you really want to look at that conversion rate to the top 32. That is where we have seen an overwhelming amount of Blackwings this past week, just off the tournaments that I watched and casted specifically. Battleface Friday, a lot of Blackwings, and even yeah, Battleface Friday. Like I said, just a ton of Blackwings here. Even though many of them fizzle out top 32, top 16, that huge conversion rate given their representation. That's where a lot of it is. Even though their top 8 conversion rate was not so great.
Right. All right, let's move on to the next deck then. In third place, we have Element Sabers with 13 points. First place in the Meta Weekly, though. That's pretty good.
hmm Yeah, so Element Saber's not doing so well in most other community events, but man, that's a hell of a good last week, right? 40%
Right.
conversion rate to the top 32 with only 63 representation, as you'll see in the next slide.
Yep.
Just about the same as Blackwings. But yeah, again, Element Sabers, again, another deck that I would say the future is not looking too bleak for them going forward.
No, I think they're going to continue to be a strong deck because in the testing that we did do on Zexal stuff, playing Floodgate and Canadia are huge, and this deck does that very well. And then this deck has Phoenix Chain. I found that wasn't as good, but it still worked pretty well when XZ against XZ's monsters. So, but this deck's playing Kiteroid. I was very
Yeah.
surprised. So that's a little bit of spicy tech that you don't typically see in Element Sabers.
Yeah, Unfortunately, Element Sabers still have that semi-limited spot free to them. Of course, all of that we are expecting, and it'll take a couple power rankings videos before it happens, but we are expecting a ban list after the release of Zexal World in the coming week. So, Element Sabers is one of those decks to keep an eye out on. Speaking of that, the other two decks that we talked about as well, Vodios and Blackwings, also decks to keep an eye out on for that ban list.
Yeah. All
So
right.
yeah, let's see Sabers. Happy birthday.
Moving on to fourth place, Witchcrafters, 12 points. They also got a victory in the Battle Phase Pop Up Tuesday.
hmm Yeah, Witchcrafter's doing well right now to stay in the meta. I don't know. A lot of their good matchups are still prevalent. Of course, you see Black Wings doing better now, but it doesn't look like it's hampering them as much as they were before, right? Witchcrafters have a lot of ways with dealing with most of the other matchups in like I don't know, like what you would call the tier decks. Like if it's not through their initial win condition, they can win through like a war of attrition
Right.
over time. It's most of the meta decks.
They're a very strong control deck, but at the same time, they don't win a lot. They just don't.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of these matchups lately, especially with Karakuri, Witchcrafters are not coming out on top most of the time against these decks.
Right.
Against these newer decks with these like unique strategies that seem to be here to counter Veer specifically, right? Just that notion of negating all your monsters, like taking that out before they have access to it.
Right. Well, let's take a look at the conversion rates here.
hmm
32% to the top 32, and then 8% to the top 8. So, kind of a common theme we're seeing this week.
Yeah, honestly, all of the like, I don't know. I would, you could kind of lump these together as like just the four decks that are always, kind of
Right. Fighting
or
for
at
the
the
top.
top. And they bring in these similar results because the matchups are kind of like, I want to say, they're not as definitive anymore, right?
Right.
As when some of these strategies first came to us. Witchcrafters now, you saw Witchcrafters versus Blackwings. Witchcrafters were 100% going to lose. Maybe not the case anymore. They're not being played as much, but I don't know. It's tough to say for a deck like Witchcrafters sometimes, I feel.
All right, let's move on to fifth place then with Kara Curry. 10
Oh,
points, got a first place in Battle Phase Monday. Hey, that's
now
one of
there were
ours.
some more tournaments. There were some more tournaments this week, and it seems like Kara Curry's notable placements did fall off this week, despite them having the second most representation
Yeah.
this week. So this is their first like kind of disappointing week, I would say, since their release.
Yeah, it's
Only 4
I think it's their
points.
lowest placement since they since they came out.
Yeah, it looks like they only really showed up in Battle Phase Monday. I remember noting it to PDS that only one Karakuri made it to the top 8. Only one made it to the top 32 on Friday. That was
Right.
insane. Like, that is nuts. Karakuri not making it at all. Like in that, like in a full tournament like that, that's pretty nuts. So we're definitely gonna have to see what's up. I do think it has to do with the fact that people are really now they're really woke to the fact that car curries are a good deck, right? They're on top tier one of the DLM tier list. People are definitely signing in system down,
Right.
all these countermeasures for them. The kind of strategies that have evolved from car curries, like the Gamma Oil, people are catching on to that, playing Necro Valley, Cosmic Cyclone, do what they have to just stamp out, car curries from being able to do stuff. And it shows in their points
Right.
this week. And we will go, if we look at their conversion rate, even though they have the second most representation this week, they are with a 24% conversion rate, the only one of the meta decks that has below a 30. Well, Invoke Neos, excuse me,
Right.
Invoke Neos is suffering from the Shiranui effect right now, so
Yeah.
excuse them. But yeah, Curry definitely this week was the beginning of their fall off. So we'll see how that goes next week.
Yeah, Karakuri's just going to have a hard time. I think just because people are, like you said, going to be ready for it. So we'll see how it fares in the new meta. All
Hmm.
right, so let's do the at a glance stuff here. Overall representation this week. Invoke Neos in first place with 82. I was kind of surprised by that one. Not really. I did see that Stromberg representation was up. They were just outside that limit to get into the best conversion rate. You know, they were at 19. You got to be right around 20.
Yeah,
So,
because there was a lot of Stromberg chatter during the Casey Cup, so it's good to see that
yeah.
people were interested in the deck afterwards.
Dark Magician just squeaking in there at 21. So I was like,
Yeah,
what has happened, Mr. Magician? So
even though their conversion rate was really bad.
all right, looking at the conversion rates, then Dark Magician at 5%, ouch. But Invoke Neo's at the top with 11, which we saw. Shiranui, ouch, 4%.
Yeah, oof, that's rough.
Top 8 finishes this week, well, of course, was Invoke Neos, followed by Black Wings, Element Sabers, and Kara Curry. Look at Dark Magician down there at the bottom. I mean, once you hit like 11th place, they're all pretty much the same with one. But I mean,
Yeah.
Six Sams. Dark Magician got the same as Six Sams, I'll say that. And Stall. And Stall.
Yeah, and I think this kind of like validates the sentiment that a lot of the decks that were in the ecosystem are just straight up getting pushed out. They cannot deal like things got power corrupt, and a lot of people didn't even notice, right?
Right.
Things like Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, Heroes. What else we got here? Dragoonies, Cyber Dragons, all these decks, even though Cyber Dragons and Dragoonies did get hit, a lot of them straight up getting power crept by a lot of the new support we're getting from Witchcrafters, Curry, and the like.
Drake is just happy to be on any list. You know what I mean? All right.
Yeah.
And victories this week is pretty much everybody got one. But check it out. Invoke Neos, Blackwings, Element Saber, Kara Curry, Witchcrafter, Shiranui, and Dark Magician. So not bad.
Hmm.
Not bad at all. We'll throw this list back up so you can look at it. But we'll see how Zexal turns out. We're going to be going crazy when it comes out. So make sure to check out the YouTube channel because we're going to be throwing up videos. We're going to be streaming all day. It's going to be a great time.
Gonna be nuts, guys. Be sure to keep your eyes glued to youtube.com/Duelist Entertainment because we're gonna have something great for you every day of Zexal, including a 24-hour stream on twitch.tv/Duelist Entertainment upon the Zexal release on Tuesday, September 29th. Yes.
Yeah, like Tuesday into Wednesday, right? Is that how it works?
Tuesday. No, Monday into Tuesday. That's how
Monday
it
into
works.
Tuesday, yeah. Monday into
Yes,
Tuesday.
that's
Yeah.
how it works.
You always got to
So
make it
tonight,
confusing.
yeah, if you're watching this video tonight,
Yeah, yeah. All right. So I'm gonna get out of here because I gotta go stream Anti-Phase. And if you want to play an Anti-Phase and other tournaments like it, make sure you get on our Discord because that's where we host them all. They're always free to play, and you can win a little bit of money in the process. So
it's a great way to get into the competitive scene.
we hope to see you there. But we're gonna get out of here. I'm Circus. That's Kamal. See ya.
Peace out.